Hey everyone, today we're going to deep dive into a case study. It's about a beverage distribution company in Southern California.
Nice.
Yeah, they managed to really boost their efficiency and save a bunch of money.
Always love those stories.
Who doesn't?
Right.
So we're going to be using some notes from Beverage Distribution Consultants.
BDC.
Yeah, BDC, exactly.
I love those guys.
Okay, so to kind of set the scene, this company distributes beverages and snacks.
Okay.
Healthy type stuff you see everywhere these days. And they've got a pretty big operation going, like 80 employees.
Wow.
Yeah, and over 5,200 accounts.
That's a lot to handle.
Yeah, you can imagine the logistics of it all, right?
Absolutely.
So to manage all that, they were using a third-party app just to track their sales reps.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, things like customer visits and keeping track of new leads and all that.
Okay, so a dedicated Salesforce management tool.
Yeah, and those can be really helpful, but they can get pricey.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's where this company was running into trouble. They were paying something like $16,000 every year just for this app.
16,000. Wow.
Yeah, so that was a big chunk of their budget. Basically, they had three main goals they were trying to achieve. Keep their sales reps accountable, track how many customers they were visiting each week, and, closely watch the progress of their prospective clients.
Sounds pretty standard for a sales-driven company.
Yeah, basically they wanted more transparency and accountability without spending a fortune.
A classic dilemma.
I know, right? And this is where BDC steps in with a pretty interesting solution. Instead of telling them to get a whole new system,
Right.
they took a closer look at what the company was already using. Turns out they had this platform called Encompass.
Encompass. Okay. Yeah, I've heard of that. It's pretty flexible, lots of customization options.
Exactly. So what BDC did was they built a custom set of tools within Encompass.
So they basically created a bespoke solution tailored to the company.
Exactly. And they were already familiar with Encompass, so it wouldn't cause a bunch of disruption and be easier to implement.
Very smart.
Yeah, work smarter, not harder, right? And these tools were designed to do everything that expensive app was doing. Check in and check out surveys at each account, taking pictures to prove they were there, detailed notes.
Pictures. That's a nice touch.
Yeah, I thought so too. Not only does it verify the visit, but it also gives them visual data.
Makes sense.
And to top it off, they made a management dashboard with a map to visualize all the stops.
Wow.
Yeah, and then they had reports for each stop, overview reports for all the rep activity, the whole 9 yards.
Sounds really comprehensive.
Yeah, they really seemed to nail it.
Oh, did it work?
Oh, it worked, and that's what we'll dive into next.
Oh, Oilers. All right, so spill the beans. What happened after they ditched the app?
Well, first off, remember that $16,000 a year they were spending?
Yeah, hard to forget that.
Gone. Poof. They completely eliminated that cost.
No kidding, that's huge. But what about, their actual goals? Did it actually make things better for them?
Oh, yeah, big time. It actually got really interesting. Bringing everything into Encompass made things so much smoother, both for the sales reps and the managers.
I bet. No more jumping between apps.
Exactly. Everything's all together. No more trying to piece together info from different places.
That's got to be a relief for everyone.
Right. And think about those sales reps. They're out there all day visiting clients. Now they have one easy system to use. It frees them up to focus on, building relationships.
Makes sense. So less busy work, more actual selling.
Exactly. And then for the managers, well, they've got all those reports and that map we talked about. They can actually see what's going on.
Real-time insights. That's powerful.
Right. They can keep track of progress, see if there are any problems, make decisions based on the data.
So it's not just about the money they saved. It's about understanding their business better.
Totally. And we actually have a quote from the company's CFO. He was pretty happy with how it all turned out.
Oh, I love hearing what they had to say. Let's hear it.
He gave the whole project an A and said, capturing data is one thing, but then figuring out what it all means, that's where the real value is.
I love that. It shows that BDC wasn't just, throwing a tech solution at them. They were thinking about the bigger picture.
Yeah, they wanted to give them something they could actually use to make changes. And think about it. Now they have all this extra money they're not spending on that app. They can invest it somewhere else, maybe improve things for their employees even more.
It's like a domino effect. One good decision leads to another.
Exactly. But before we move on, I want to dig into the technical side a bit. How did those tools actually solve those three challenges?
Yeah, let's break it down.
All right, so let's break down how they tackled those challenges. Accountability, that was number one. They wanted to be sure their reps were actually visiting the clients.
Right. Super important when so much depends on those in-person visits.
Totally. And that's where that picture feature was so smart.
Yeah, the photo capture.
Right, the photo capture. It's not just a random picture. It actually proves they were there.
Right, hard evidence.
Exactly. Plus, later on, they can use those photos for analysis, see what's going on at the accounts.
Smart. Kind of like a high-tech punch card.
I like that. Okay, so challenge number 2, tracking those client visits.
Making sure they're hitting their targets.
Exactly. The photos help with this too, right? They have the timestamp and location data.
Yeah, managers can easily see how many visits each rep is making.
Yep, no more guesswork. And then the third challenge, keeping tabs on those potential clients.
Yeah, the leads.
Right, and this is where those detailed notes come in handy.
Oh, I bet. So much better than trying to remember everything.
Right. Instead of having notes all over the place, they can just log everything in Encompass.
So key takeaways from the meeting, any follow-up, any problems they ran into.
Exactly. Gives the manager a really clear picture of what's going on with each potential client.
And they can jump in and help if needed.
Right. Everyone's on the same page. And the best part is they built all of this within Encompass, the platform they were already paying for.
So they're saving money and getting a better system.
It's a win-win. It just shows you sometimes the best solution is right there in front of you.
Absolutely. It's about being creative, looking at what you have in a new way.
So anyone listening, think about your own workflows, your own systems. What could you improve by using what you already have?
Good question. Don't jump to buy something new. You might be surprised what you can do with the tools you already have.
Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, that wraps up our deep dive for today.
We covered a lot. A beverage company, a clever solution, saving money, improving efficiency.
And hopefully we've inspired some of you to rethink your own approach to problem solving.
Right. Be more creative, resourceful.
Find those hidden gems in the tools you're already using. And with that, we'll say goodbye for now.
Until next time, keep diving deep.